So RaiderZ at its core is a monster hunting action MMO. Action meaning it's not tabbed to target. It's very dynamic combat, so you're actually dodging, you're moving around, you actually have to target. It's really fast paced is to make it the goal. Seamless and flawless combat. The monster hunter part of it is that the core of the gameplay revolves around hunting the big monsters, like the big bosses. There are the little minions and stuff, but it's guys like this, like the Chimera, that are I would not recommend attacking him yet because he will kill you pretty quickly. And then, but I want to go over some stuff first. Okay. So the guys like the Chimera or the Goblin Golem, the huge dragons and stuff, it's the big monsters that the game revolves around. They're the ones that drop the biggest loot. The best gear that you can, or the best loot, the crafting items that allow you to get the best gear and weapons, and that's where you're going to find it right there. We heavily emphasize party-based gameplay. So we don't force anyone to party, but the bosses are really, really tough, and they strike fast and they strike hard, and you have to have a variety of skills and abilities to be able to effectively deal with them. Okay. Now that being said, one of the most unique features about RaiderZ is that we call it kind of a classless system. So we give you the ability to learn any skill from any of the jobs. If you hit T really quick, that'll show the skill tree. So when you do your character creation, you'll choose one of these base 4 jobs: Defender, Berserker, Cleric, or Sorcerer. If anyone's ever played an MMO, you know what those are, right? The Defender's the tank, Berserker's DPS, and so on and so on. But as you can see, your base job is the Cleric. So you're a Cleric right here, and then you have these. You've already learned these skills. But if you click, say, the Berserker, click around. Oh, you're out of skill points. So you click around to the Defender. You learn some Defender skills too. Because if you hit Tab, you'll cycle through your weapons. And now that's the Defender weapon set. So you know the Defender weapon set is the one-handed shield and the one-handed weapon, or sword or a mace. Tab again. And you know it's a Cleric because it uses the big two-handed staff. So you can learn any skill from any job in the game. However, skills are weapon compatible, right? Skills are based off weapons. So even though you can learn anything, you have to have the compatible weapon to be able to use the skill. So you see right now we have our skill tree down here. The ones that are lit up are the ones that you can use, obviously. The ones that are not lit up, you can't use. And if you hit Tab, you see some of them light up, like the rest light up. If you had any that were incompatible with this weapon set, they would go dim, you can't use them. So so like I said, the skills are weapon-based. You can equip any weapon you want. You just have to have the applicable skills for it. Now, what we give you the ability to do, if you right-click on the little chain link right here, you can bind a skill tray to a weapon. So one of the goals of RaiderZ is to keep players in the fight, like keep them fighting, keep them questing, and we don't want players like living in the menus and in the inventory and stuff. We want very seamless gameplay. So if you bind one of these to your currently equipped weapon, as you hit Tab and you're cycling through your weapons, that skill tray will automatically come out. So you don't have to worry about like unlearning and relearning, moving all your skills around to different skill trays. You do it once, you bind it to a weapon, and then while you're in the fight, while you're in the moment, you can switch them out on the fly, and you never have to go into the menu. So that's what we call the open class system. You can learn any skill, pick up any weapon, and really refine your character to your specific play style. And what's cool about that is you can have these big parties, these big hunting parties to hunt down the monsters, and all of you have a wide range of skills, and you can all support each other. You can be like a berserker, like a heavy DPS healer mage type of guy. You can be a tank style ranged like magic elemental magic dealer. A lot of different combinations you can do. Of course, you can do a straight up pure build too. If you want to be a straight up tank, you can totally do that. Put all your skill points in it. You get 1 skill point at each level, and that's how you start learning these. Okay. So we just finished up a closed beta last week, and we're moving towards the open beta. And everything we're going to see right here is brand new content that no one's seen before. So go ahead and close that. And the area we're in right now, if you take a look around, it's called the Grand Wall of Silence. And this is kind of like, you know, Game of Thrones. It's like the wall, right? So the lore behind it is there's this huge meteor that crashed into the kingdom of Rendell, which we're in right now. It's called the Prime Stone, and all this evil started spreading out throughout the land, and that's what your quests are based on, is finding out what's going on, finding out where it's coming from, and discovering how you can restore peace. So this is the last part of the open beta content that we're going to be releasing it. This is like the highest level place you can get. If you hit M, it'll show your map, and this is where we currently are right now. And hit World really quick. So all of our other demos have taken place in the beginning, in Broken Mast and Ancient and Terrace Plain. Anyone who knows the game will recognize those names. So right now we've quested all the way through this, and we're way out here at the Grand Wall of Silence. So you can see kind of how far you'd have to progress to get to this area. When we, right now we're level 25. When we launch the open beta, the level cap will be 30 or 35, so you'll have to get all the way to that before you can access this. So to show you a couple new things, go ahead and escape. We have this new transformation system, giving you the ability to transform yourself into one of many, kind of creatures in the line, either a monster or a little animal or something like that. So hit like F2, and you have a little transformation stone, and boom, you can transform yourself into one of the monsters. So take a look at your skill tree down here. Your skill trays have changed. You've taken on the attributes of that monster. You have his weapon. You can use all his skills. Pretty basic stuff. He just has his little gun, a couple different attacks. Some of them have a little emote or something too. So hit 5, and then go to do F1. This, and then one more little example. That guy, right? Again, your skill tray has changed. You have a different type of weapon, different types of attacks. This is an enemy from earlier in the game. A little bonbon guy. 5 one more time, and then we'll show you my favorite one. F6. The all-powerful. The bunny, right? Yes. Best thing about it is, so he has this attack, which is 1. You just hit number 1 high kick, so try it real quick. Let's do a little kick. Then hit 3. I love his little thrusting. You can swing the camera around to the front. And 4 is another little dance he has. Yes, a little pump up move. So these items you'll get through questing and through progressing through the game. The items that will give you the ability to use these, they'll be involved with quests. So like you'll have to, some quests you can only complete if you have this or be able to transform into one of these monsters. We've put these in your inventory so you can check them all out for now, but they're basically things that you would be getting as you're going throughout the game. So another example of how the gameplay kind of constantly changes and how your skills and attributes and weapons are always changing. Hit 5. And then F7, and you can equip this big cannon. So the cannons are really cool. All these ranged weapons are really cool because there's no like archer class in the game. So this is the one that gives you the ability to do some long distance damage regardless of your class. So you're a you're a base cleric, but you still have the ability to pick up this weapon, learn, acquire its skills for a limited amount of time. You have this one for a couple minutes, but then you can re-equip it. And yeah, I mean, go ahead and use it. It's pretty cool. Just when you aim. Hit just left click. There you go. So there's a little targeting thing down that you didn't see because you're off the cliff. But so there's a common theme throughout the game. You're always picking up new weapons, learning new abilities, gaining new attributes, and that's what keeps the gameplay from getting stale. It keeps it fresh, keeps players engaged in the game, so they can step aside from just the normal questing, and it doesn't feel grindy and it doesn't feel boring. There you go. There it is. You'll be doing AoE damage to a lot of enemies.
Has weird range. He doesn't want to go over that cliff.
So the let's see what else we got. We have mounts, of course. Hit F8 for a pretty sweet mount. That's pretty awesome.
Damn, it's like a Worgen / nine-tailed fox kind of hybrid thing.
Yeah, love that one. So mounts, they're mostly for fast travel, but they can attack also. They have a lunge attack. Different types of mounts do different types of attacks, run at different speeds, and all that type of stuff. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. Yeah, hit number 2. So mounts, what they'll do to attack is you'll be riding on it, and so you're going across a long range, and then you happen to run into an enemy. It's a big open world, and enemies just kind of like run around, So if you run into one, you can lunge attack at it really quick, and then it'll automatically dismount you and give you a temporary defense buff. So it's another example we want to keep players in the fight. We don't want you to have to, like, say you come on a bunch of enemies, you would have to dismount the mount, maybe go to your inventory, maybe re-equip your weapon or something like that. This is just, it's staying in the fight, automatically dismounts you, gives you a defense bonus in case you get attacked right away, and gives you the ability to just kind of continue it as soon as possible.
I don't know.
Let's do the music system. Hit I to open your inventory, and double click this second little guitar right there. The second one. That's my favorite one. So you have that. See your skill tree has changed to a couple of notes. Hit 1, 2, 3. Play some songs. Hit 4. So you can get these quests, these items through questing, through crafting, and of course if you happen to get attacked while you're playing guitar, you hit 5. You can use it as a weapon as well. And it automatically switches you back to your normal weapon, which would be more powerful. Now the feast system is really cool. Double click on the little plate right there, plate of vegetables. Build yourself a little feast station. Now what this does is it creates this little dish for you. There are 3 different ones. There's the meat one, there's like a cauldron, like a stew one, and the vegetable one. If you hit E, oh, you might have to click, yeah, hit E, and you have a little plate, and you can consume it by hitting 3. And you'll eat this, and you'll see up here it gives you a little temporary buff. This one actually lasts a full hour, and it increases your health and energy recovery rates by 20% for the full hour. So they're each different type of station. If you want to hit the meat one, you can see that one's pretty cool. These are sort of like items to be used if you're way outside of a town and there's no NPC or there's no vendor or anything nearby. You have these in your inventory, and you can make these, and you can buff you and your team very quickly before you head into a boss fight. What's cool is that anyone in your party can come up and use yours. So if you have a party of 8 people, you can build one. Everyone can come up and use it. All gain the buff, and then you're collectively better. And then of course you can use it as a weapon as well. Perfect.
Okay.
So I spawned him. Normally, if you had the quest and you were just if you had the quest and you were questing normally, you come up to this wall for the first time, and this guy would bust out and he'd go into this big fight. But you can actually go up and start fighting him right now. The thing is, he's really strong, and he's really fast. He's meant to be gone after with a group of people, at least a couple of people. But we only have you right now, so.
There you go.
But you'll be able to see how fast and how powerful he is, and it really puts the emphasis on how much you need a team and how much you need a party to be able to really do all this. All your different skills. And this boss is called the Chimera. He's the final boss of what will be the open beta content. Sometimes you see a little icon pop up for a combo. If you do effective damage with a base skill, sometimes you get a chance to do a combo, which will do an additional attack for more damage. He has a lot of different attacks. He has his Venom, his Poison attack. Of course, the minions, they're pretty weak though. Shift to dodge. There you go.
So you said for open beta it's going to be a level cap of 30 to 35 about?
Yes.
Do you know what the projected level cap, like by the end it will be? Like
It's going to keep going up for, yeah. Yeah, we don't project there'll ever be like an end to it.
Okay.
We already have a pipeline of new content coming out, new enemies, levels, gear, and everything like that, increased level caps. So you mentioned high-level instances, dungeons, raids like that, plans for all that type of stuff as well. But we don't, I mean, right now there's no end in sight. You know, we have a lot of content coming. We're going to be supporting it for a really long time.
That's actually really good.
Yeah. Nice.
So are these NPCs that are actually helping him?
Those are
fight
NPCs.
it?
So at points in the game, you're actually going to be able to group with NPCs to go take on these monsters.
Okay.
You'll see another example of that if you played at the show before. This right here, these guys will join you and they'll all fight with you, and they do pretty good damage. They're not super weak. These guys might be kind of weak, but yeah. did just finish the closed beta last week. It closed on the 29th. Went really, really well. Went a little too well, actually. We had to cut back on some of the server time.
Oh, wow.
So we could support it like during working hours. We just had a huge flood of people in. Luckily, though, people kept logging in. Like the user count stayed really high throughout the whole thing, which is really, really good to see.
So like you mentioned that NPCs kind of sometimes come and help you if they're in the vicinity. Are there going to be like hireable NPCs that you can take along if you don't have anyone to?
At this point, no, there's nothing like that.
Okay.
But that's something that has been discussed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right now, it's just kind of like a area based. So if you're in an area with guys and something like this breaks out, a lot of it is a quest. So a quest to like go round up some dudes, but there's not like hireables or there's no
okay.
dudes you can really hire. That would be. I mean, I do think that's a really good idea.
So is it encouraged also for like if someone else was running by this area and saw this fight going on, is it encouraged for him to just jump in? Like, will he get?
It's if he jumps in without partying, he won't really get anything.
Oh, okay. So
but he can easily party.
Okay.
You can just click on the person and then hit 2 to party, and then this guy will hit Y,
okay.
and then he'll automatically become part of the party, and they'll split the loot. As far as who gets it, it's basically first hit, right? Whoever initiates the hit.
Right.
Okay, and you just you go back to the soul stone, or else the guy's just gonna keep going. Like we see the kind of the intensity and the ferocity of the bosses, and the cool thing is that even though this is a really high level boss, you start seeing these guys really early. Within probably your first hour or two of gameplay, you've already gone through 2 big boss fights like that. And those guys are the ones that get you the really good crafting gear, the really good loot drops you can take back to the NPCs to craft the better gear, the better weapons. And that's what's sort of pulling players through the game, is they're always on that chase to get the better gear, to get the better weapons and make themselves more powerful.
In terms of like how you're doing, like you're placing a huge importance on dodge. I mean, not a lot of games do that anymore. You had what's the one we just got done playing? Yeah, Terra, which was dodge. I mean, yeah, you're moving constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, is that going to be a key element into, I mean, survivability in terms?
Absolutely, yeah. Survivability and being able to move. We emphasize that a lot. Is you really have to get out of the way of some of these attacks. And it's not just like an arbitrary dodge. It's not like once you hit dodge, then you'll avoid the attack. It's like you have to get out of the physical way of the attack as well. So definitely survivability, and that's why we put a big emphasis on party gameplay and having people that have different ability sets. Some guys that can heal, some guys that can they can aggro and get the boss away from you and stuff like that. So let me show you really quick some of these new enemies, which is a good example. Oh shit, sorry. Just try to find this guy. So it's another new set of enemies. A lot of new enemies in this area, and they're really good examples of being able to kill monsters and take their stuff away and use it from them right there. These guys, these kobold poachers, they have those little kind of rocket launcher things. Whenever you kill one, there's a chance that he'll drop it on the ground, which he didn't. There's a chance he'll drop it on the ground, and you can pick it up and use it. And again, your skills will change. You'll have a new weapon for a short amount of time, and it does a lot of damage against the other guys in the area. And that's a constant theme throughout the whole game. It's all these enemies. You're not just arbitrarily killing them; they're actually giving you incentive to kill them, so you can use their weapons, you can pick up their items, and you can make yourself stronger for at least a short amount of time. I think we've used this account a lot, so it knows. I think it's starting to scale the drops down. There's one. You can go right and hit E. So now you have his gun. Basic gun only has 2 attacks, has that one, and then a kneeling more. Perfect. See, so again, skills always changing, abilities always changing, always new weapons, new ways to play. Keeping people in the fight in a seamless manner. You don't have to put that in your bag, then go equip it. It just happens right away. And then once the time, it's all time based. Once the time runs out, automatically switches you back to your weapon. So You're gonna kill the bunny.
No.
Are there also waypoint systems for like quick travel between certain areas on the map, or?
No, right now there's not.
Okay.
It is the maps get really big, so you get mounts pretty early on in the game to move. However, it is kind of a Shire based system. So we saw that world map earlier, and it was you saw how many different spots there were. You do sort of instance to the other area. You're gonna go to the edge of town, and then it'll send you to this area. You don't have to like walk miles and miles to get to this area. I think we're just about running out of time, but I know it was first time for you guys. I hope you got a good overview of the game in general. I hope you saw some cool new things, the transformation system, the new area, the Grand Wall of Silence, higher level content, the Chimera boss no one's seen before. So lots of cool new stuff coming in the open beta, and even before that, tons of things for players to do outside of just the normal questing, so it doesn't get grinding and doesn't get boring. So.
I just want to announce when the open beta is.
Nope.
Oh, that's the date?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
not yet. It's not.
So
It's not
coming
too.
soon.
Not too far. Yeah, coming soon.